Hi there, 𝗦𝗧𝗨𝗡 𝗕𝗏 with the third instalment of our look behind the scenes for our 2021 adventure calendar. Lisa's next door, so you've got me doing the narration. The image for February isn't the most dramatic. We've seen lots and lots of photographs online especially of some pretty dramatic shots of Alaska, and we've also got our fair share. But what we really enjoyed about the shot we've chosen for February was that it conveyed a different part of Alaska. It's just Lisa on her bike, very simple foreground, dramatic background, snow-capped mountains. But it conveyed, I think the image conveys what Alaska and the Yukon meant to Lisa and myself. It's a very solitary place. It's very remote, it's wild, it's rugged, but there's also a sense of peace that we felt there that is rare these days. Now, Lisa and I actually headed up to Alaska and the Yukon very late in the season. We gambled with being on the receiving end of some pretty cold temperatures, some freezing temperatures, but the upside of the gamble was that we were at a much lower risk of being eaten by the midges and the mosquitoes. After our time in the Amazon, and especially coming through Siberia, we just didn't need to provide lunch to any more elephant-sized mosquitoes and midges, and for us it paid off. The other reason for the gamble was that by going later in the year, we had a much better chance of photographing and experiencing the northern lights, the aurora borealis. The Dalton Highway is an incredible ride. If you haven't given yourself the opportunity to ride up to Prudhoe Bay, I highly recommend it. It is a landscape unlike any other. The Dalton Highway is It's a pin in your cap. It is quite something to say you've ridden as far north through the Americas as possible to get. At the end, sure, Prudhoe Bay is an oil field, it's not the prettiest, but it is quite an achievement. And yes, Lisa and I took our time. We posed for a photograph in front of the Welcome to Dead Horse, Alaska end of the Dalton Highway sign. We headed back down. We got very lucky. We actually managed to get over the passes. The Attica Pass is pretty spectacular, by the way. It takes you over the top of the Brooks mountain range. That's where the Brooks crosses the Continental Divide Trail. Epic, grandiose, all of those descriptives cover the Brooks mountain range. Now, going back to the photograph, this was actually taken just off the Dalton as we were heading into Canada's Yukon territory down towards Dawson City. We got over the passes there literally within days of the police closing them down because of bad weather and snow. We had 2 or 3 nights in Dawson City, got some great shots of the aurora borealis. Come on, it is a mouthful. But the shot for February of Lisa just traversing a simple track through the forest with this wonderful snow-capped mountain in the background, for Lisa and myself, as I mentioned earlier, it conveys the feeling that we left Alaska and the Yukon with. There's a sense of timelessness, beauty. But make no mistakes, if you do take a ride up there, be prepared. You've got hundreds and hundreds of miles where there's no cell reception, phone reception, satellite reception, gas stations. You are on your own. Do not underestimate this landscape. It has got a bite. But if you're careful, if you respect it, the rewards from riding this part of the world are spectacular. So we'll leave you with the image. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you again for all of the comments that you've been leaving. We really appreciate it. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers for now.